Welcome to Talk Hoops with Zach Harper. I'm your host, Zach Harper, national NBA columnist for FanRagSports.com. This chat is part of the Leverage the Chat network, podcast network that has all kinds of things like the Basketball Friends and Nice Kicks and Sorted History and Waz Speaks and Chase Down and what else do we have? Light Years, and we have Trey Versus on Twitch. We have all kinds of stuff that you can check out at leveragethechat.com. And we also have today's podcast, which you already know because why would you just blindly click on a podcast? It has Angie Treasure from 1280 The Zone in Salt Lake City.
What's up?
What's up? Back by, mildly popular demand.
I don't know that that's true.
I don't know that it's a demand. It was like kind of like a popular hey, suggestion.
That'd be fine.
It wouldn't we wouldn't stop listening if Angie was back on.
I mean, do you think they'd prefer this to just you by yourself?
Yeah, I think me by myself. I used to do that occasionally on the old CBS podcast, and it took a lot of editing because it was just a lot of downtime, a lot of dead air.
You just wait for yourself to answer questions?
Yeah, I would just ask myself and kind of forget there was no one on the other end, and they go, "Oh, I have to answer that question."
Do you know what I hate is when you listen to solo pods and people just ask hypotheticals into the air and answer. I'm just out on that.
Yeah. They're just asking rhetorical questions and then answering them, making them no longer rhetorical.
Or be like, could he come back this year? I don't know. It's impossible to say. It's like, just say you don't think he's going to come back this year. Don't Q&A yourself.
I don't know. Maybe that's just it battles the loneliness. We're a couple of team dead insiders.
Yeah.
So
do you ask yourself heavy questions in your
it's a
solo apartment?
It's a lot of what are you doing with your life? Why are you eating spicy black bean burgers for the fourth straight meal? Why is this a decision? Are you drinking too much?
You answer yourself?
Yeah. It's usually just shut up, I'm living. I'm living my best life.
Stop talking to me. The bodyguard is on.
Yeah. Oh God.
Should I watch that?
Yes, you should have watched it last night because then we could have talked about that on the old podcast right now.
What if you just asked me hypotheticals about the bodyguard?
Okay.
And answered them? What year did that come out? 92? 92.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was not
I don't want to hear it. I get it. I get it. You're young.
Age.
It's no, definitely not. What were you, 1?
It's 3.
You were 3? Jesus. Yeah. So you were.
Can we have a Waterworld podcast at some point?
Oh my God. We should. Okay, we have a list of topics that we were going to get to, but I would be fine just doing Waterworld.
No, we don't have to talk about Waterworld right now. But I've seen that movie a lot.
Oh, maybe here's what we do. So also when I had a CBS podcast, for every holiday, Lang Whitaker and I would get together and discuss a movie. So we did Independence Day for the 4th of July. We did Die Hard 2 for Christmas. We did all kinds of stuff like that. So the three of us could get on a podcast and discuss Waterworld for Christmas.
There's nothing more that celebrates the birth of our Lord than Kevin Costner with gills and drinking his own urine.
Yeah. It's
really a
festive.
Christ metaphor if you think about it.
Have you ever been to Universal Studios? Mm-mm. Either Orlando or Los Angeles?
No.
So they used to, or maybe they still do. So they had this water show that was Miami Vice forever because the 80s.
Sure.
And there's it's action, live action and stunts and jet skis and all kinds of stuff. And then Miami Vice is no longer a thing, and they turned it into a Waterworld show. So it's a live action version of Waterworld. It's phenomenal. I don't know if they still have that, but when they did, it was so good.
There's no way it's still the Waterworld show.
God. All right. Well, now we will eventually get to basketball on this podcast. Not much, but now I got to know. Universal Studios Hollywood. How would I? Rides and attractions. Wow. See, the internet. This is all live action podcasting.
This is just thrilling stuff.
Oh, shit. They have a Fast and Furious show. Maybe that's what they turned it into.
In Florida or in...
In Hollywood.
Ooh, how have you not been to that?
I don't know. I'm going tomorrow.
Yeah,
not
should.
tomorrow.
'Cause you don't,
oh, they do have the Waterworld one still. Oh, my God.
Up.
We're all going.
Is it just called Waterworld or is it really Waterworld?
No, it's really Waterworld. It's based on the movie.
Okay, I need to book a ticket to LA right now.
Yeah, you come tomorrow. I'll blow off all my responsibilities tomorrow. We're all going. If you're listening to this podcast,
have responsibilities.
I got shit to do.
Do you?
I gotta take.
Do you have anything that's unmovable?
I am playing basketball tomorrow night. Well, I guess if you're listening to this podcast, I'm playing basketball tonight because this is a Monday podcast. We're recording this on Sunday. And it's the last time I'm playing basketball for the year, at least with this group of people.
I mean, that sounds dramatic, but really it's only like 4 weeks.
It's true, but I got real fat during the holiday season.
Did you?
Yeah. And I'm trying to work that off.
I feel like fat is more of a state of mind than an actual thing.
I feel like right now it's a state of my stomach.
Well, have you heard of waist training?
No, is that just like a girdle?
Yeah. That's a thing
a corset?
Women do to themselves.
It's not a corset for a man, right? What is it for a man?
Men don't do it because it doesn't matter.
Oh, that's true.
Because you're not judged based on that.
We are judged, but then ultimately everyone's like, we don't care.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Real cushy life you dudes have.
Yeah. Speaking of body shaming, Andre Drummond body shamed Joel Embiid before their showdown Saturday night. Why
are you the way that you are?
I don't know. So we know last time they played early in the season, Pistons versus Philadelphia 76ers, and they played, and Joel Embiid had a big game, and they asked him how that happened, and he said, Andre Drummond doesn't play any defense. And Andre Drummond said, next game between us is December 2nd. Circled the calendar, and Saturday was December 2nd, and so earlier in that day, someone asked Joel Embiid again about matching up with Andre Drummond. And he said, essentially, like I'm paraphrasing here, but something along the lines of like, well, he doesn't shoot. He can't shoot the ball, so it's not that hard. And which is true. Andre Drummond, not a shooter.
Sure.
They asked Andre Drummond about it, and he said that he can't even really have a conversation with Embiid or about Embiid because he doesn't play in back-to-backs, and he's
right.
Like
Andre doesn't get rested.
Right. Andre's missed like 4. He said, like, I think I've missed 4 or 5 games in my career. So like I'm not dealing with rest. So until he can play a full season without resting, then I don't really want to talk about it. Which is
a great comeback.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't know that. I mean, I don't know. It feels like it's reveling in someone's injuries, which I find to be a not good thing.
Well, I think it's this year's stuff is less a question of injuries and a little bit of like, how much are they protecting him?
Right. Well, yeah.
Which I get from a logistical standpoint, but right, if you've been an Iron Man in the league, I think you get to be like, hey.
Well, all right, hold on.
I've played through.
It might be easy for Andre Drummond to not have to rest because he doesn't play any defense, so he's only playing one end of the floor.
Sure.
That might be a reason he's been able to be such an Iron Man. Because he hasn't played defense in 4 years.
Sure. Not that guys who don't play defense don't get injured.
Oh, no. The whole right side of my body's a mess.
Yeah. Zach Harper.
Right.
Can you get your right side amputated?
I would love to.
Would you?
All right. So how am I getting around? Cyborg parts? Do I get to become a cyborg?
No, but you'd have like a wheel installed.
Okay. So a wheel installed for the leg.
No extra arm.
No extra arm. Ooh, that's a tough one. Could I have
just the left hand,
like a retractable, crutch of some kind?
For your leg or for your arm?
For my arm. That way I can kind of lean against stuff.
Are you doing a lot of right-sided leaning?
Well, I mean, I would do it a lot more if it didn't hurt.
Does it hurt to lean?
It hurts to lay on my right side for a long time.
What?
Yeah. because of my shoulder.
That seems inconvenient.
It's not great for falling asleep. I mean, I sleep really well, but it's you
gotta be on your left side.
Yeah, I usually have to fall asleep on my left side or like on my stomach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you accidentally end up on your right side and wake up because you're in pain?
About a year ago, a little under a year ago, something happened with my right shoulder blade, and I don't really know what happened, but all of a sudden I was in like extreme pain and discomfort for about a month. And so like during that time, like, yeah, I would, if I rolled over onto my right side, it would wake me up immediately.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was not fun at all. And eventually got it kind of worked out and everything, but it was real bad. But now that's a rarity. But if I wake up and I've been on my right side, like, I will feel it in my shoulder.
I just feel like our bodies have a design flaw. If we can do something to it at 16, that's going to affect us for conceivably another 70 years.
Ooh, I'm not lasting 70 years.
You will be in your 80s when you eventually die.
I'm making it.
Unless you just go full.
Whoa.
But if you end up rich and famous.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So I've got the famous part down. I just got to get the rich part down.
Do you?
Well, all right. We're getting off track here. Joel Embiid and Andre Drummond played each other. So you think that's a good clapback? I'm undecided. I do think it's kind of a trump card. It is kind of a trump card in that, like, look, you can't even stay on the court, so don't talk to me. I get that.
And it's kind of a vet to a young player clapback.
Yeah, okay. Like, I do like that kind of like older bullying type. Not bullying, but you know what I mean. Like,
it's bullying. You do that on the internet all day.
Only to the people who earn it.
It's true.
Yeah.
Just to the dweebs and the dorks.
I'm coming around on it. I do find it, like, I think Pistons fans are in an impossible situation because there's no way you would take Andre Drummond over Joel Embiid. But I saw a lot of situations leading up to that game with, like, trash talk between Sixers and Pistons fans, where Pistons fans are, like, defending their guy, and I think they like Andre Drummond, or they like the idea of him at least. And so this season they do. I bet if this happened last season, they would be like, whatever. Last season, he was so bad. He is better this season. I still don't think he's a good defender, but it's at least not as egregious as it was last year.
How wild is it that people are talking about him as most improved player? When he was an all-star, right?
Yeah, I think, let me find that. I think he's been an all-star maybe twice.
How can you be a most improved if you've already been an all-star?
Well, it is the East. Oh, no, he's only been an all-star once.
Okay.
2015-16 season. And he was legitimately good that year, but last year he sucked. This year he's been better. I am impressed with the passing he's done this year, probably more so than pretending he's a good defender. And obviously, the free throw shooting is...
For sure.
64%, which isn't good, but for him, like, it's like going...
It'd be great if he could get it to 69.
It's a big improvement for him for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like I should let that hang a little bit more.
I'm comfortable with any amount of silence, just so you know.
It's actually preferred.
Yeah.
You would definitely like it if I was talking less on this podcast. It was just silence.
I think really it's what the listeners would want.
Is less me and more silence? Yeah. I think so. Do you know there's a video on YouTube that is 10 minutes of silence? It's a black screen and it is a legitimate 10 minutes of nothing.
That's very nihilist.
I think it has a lot of
views.
A lot of views.
Sometimes you just want to feel nothing, you know?
Yeah, I mean most of the time. Okay, yeah, for 10 minutes, I'm sorry. There is one that is even more than that. There is one that is 10 hours of absolute silence.
Okay.
This is the original one from 6 years ago.
Okay.
It says 10 hours of comfortable silence. 1.4 million views.
This is when I hate the internet. Unless it's a social experiment. If it's a social experiment, then whatever. But can't you have your own 10 hours of silence without having to click on something?
Yeah, it's usually just called a social life, right?
Am I right?
Okay, so I'm eventually gonna keep talking basketball. So then the game Saturday night, Andre Drummond fouls out. He had an okay game. He 14 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 steals. Fouled out. 6 of 8 from the free throw line.
Joel pointed.
Oh, that was great.
Demonstrably.
A lot of people didn't like his 6th foul. I thought it was a foul. I thought it was a good call because it was a blocking foul. He didn't really get in front of Embiid. He kind of hip checks him in a way.
Right.
And so he calls it. Joel Embiid gets helped up, points to the exits to let Andre Drummond know where he can go with the 6th foul. And Embiid finished with he didn't shoot well. He was 7 of 21. He actually forced a lot. He had 6 turnovers. He didn't play all that well, although he did finish with 25 and 10. He's got to the free throw line a bunch. But afterwards, they had an embrace. They had a
they
nice.
dapped each other up.
They dapped each other up. They had some nice words apparently for each other, and everything was fine. They asked Embiid about it. He said, he basically voiced frustrations about the Sixers in responding to what Drummond said about missing games. He's like, look, if it were up to me, I'd play. Like, it's frustrating for me, and I don't agree with it. Or I don't know if he said I don't agree with it this time. I know he said that in the past, but he said it's frustrating for me, but I can only play when they allow me to play.
Sure.
So
yeah, I think that's a fun rivalry. I don't know. Like, Joel's gonna have rivalries with everybody.
Yeah.
Andre's pretty vanilla, I think, in that regard.
I think that's where it's interesting is that Embiid.
He brings it out of people.
Yeah, like he talks shit, and then Drummond was essentially like, "All right, I'll play this game," and handled it really well. Like it wasn't awkward.
It's a content manager's dream, right?
Oh yeah.
It's like every time Joel opens his mouth, and not in a very different way than when LeVar opens his mouth. Like
right.
Either way, either one is going to be a story, but people are actually excited about the Joel news and want to read about what he's saying.
The LeVar one is like a begrudging, like, shit, I got to aggregate this.
Yeah, right. It's like, oh, we have to write up that he said, I don't know, that he's going to cure cancer or something.
Right.
And instead of Joel just being like, yeah, I'm the best big man in the game.
Yeah, I'm at 69% health-wise, or
I'm at 81.
Right, exactly.
That was probably my favorite Embiid clapback.
That was I think Jalen Rose takes too much shit for that Kobe game because it's not like he guarded him the whole time. But that was a funny clapback. I like that one a lot.
To me, it's the blowing a 3-1 lead. It's just a joke that's never gonna die. Like
I think we should try to make them at least sort of funny. Like
sure.
He at least made the Jalen Rose one sort of funny. These 3-1 lead ones, especially I've seen.
Oh, for sure.
I've seen Thunder fans make it, and oh man,
which they did that same year.
Right, you guys set the standard.
That's obnoxious.
Yeah, that's when it gets real rough for me. But
so another 3-1 lead they blew is having a big 3 and getting rid of everybody.
But now they have 3 again, sort of. 2.5.
Is it working?
2.5. This is someone. I wish I'm not going to go back and search it because I'm lazy. But someone did ask me after that game, essentially like, when will the media and fans turn on Embiid? Like, because it is kind of like he's super fun and the personality is great, but there will be a point where, or I think there will be, but there will most likely be a point where he hasn't won a championship, right? And even if he starts,
or he gets injured again,
yeah, or he gets injured again, and then it's going to be a lot like, look, you haven't done anything, be quiet.
Yeah, especially if he gets all the money he has, you know what I mean? Like, if he
gets 148 million, all that.
Guys hate when players don't live up to the contract they sign.
Right.
So I think that would be an easy answer. Or you're right. If he doesn't win a championship, if he can't attract free agents, all the trash talking's fun. But if ultimately guys don't want to play with him because of it, I don't think that would happen. But
on TV just now, there was a Utah tourist commercial.
You gonna come tour Utah?
I guess I am.
What are you gonna see? Was it like all about the national monuments, or was it?
Now I'm gonna rewind.
You gotta rewind.
Yeah.
That's the first time that's ever happened on that commercial.
Right. So it's like, ooh, life elevated, huh?
That? Did you ever ski while you were here?
No, but I went up to ski lodges.
See, that's the move.
Yeah. It hurts, in needing my leg and my right side amputated. It looks like it's just for basically Park City. It's a lot of mountains, a lot of skiing. Looks like a Park City street up there.
All right.
It says Utah life elevated, which that's true. It's elevated.
It's very high up in elevation relative to the ocean.
Wow, you nailed that one. Did you have an aneurysm mid-sentence?
Yeah, I did.
But when I ski, it really hurts my right knee.
You have skied before, though?
Yeah, I have skied before.
Yeah, it's very bad on your knees if you have.
But I enjoyed it. Other than the pain, I enjoyed skiing. It was fun.
It just is so expensive.
Yeah.
I skied all through elementary, middle school, high school. No, I kind of stopped at high school because A, I hate being cold.
Right.
B, it's expensive. And so I'm just like, eh. But my entire family, I'm the only one. My whole family would go on Christmas Day and I'd stay home.
Again, that 10 hours of silence.
Yeah, which is exactly what I wanted. I think they always felt worse than I did. They're like, we don't want to leave you. We won't be back until early afternoon. And I was like,
are you still here?
I got 6 DVDs for Christmas. Just leave, and I'm gonna watch all these with the director's commentary on because I was a very normal teenager.
Yeah. Oh, I think I got to get back into director's commentary.
Yeah, I want to watch
It's
Get Out.
Really good time.
So good. I think the first time I ever did it was on accident, and then I was like, "This is amazing." Think of all the trivia you learn.
Right. One of the most enjoyable ones.
Very, very fun at parties. Yeah. Very normal teenager.
What Roman Polanski said during.
I don't ever bring up Roman Polanski.
Yeah, that seems like that.
You do you.
Yeah. Maybe the best one I've ever seen is the How High director's commentary because Method Man and Redman are in it. And they are just unbelievable.
I really love. I haven't actually seen Armageddon or the director's commentary, but the Ben Affleck clip about how he was asking Michael Bay why the story was the way that it was, right. And he was basically just like, Ben, just shut up and pretend to be an astronaut.
And then I've brought this one up on the podcast a few times and definitely on Twitter, but Ghost Rider, where the director addresses rumors that Nick Cage's abs were CGI'd.
Were they?
No, not according to the director. And I believe him.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
If you can't believe in Nick Cage's abs,
right,
what can you believe in?
Exactly. And this was pre-heavy tax problems. So I think he had the dedication, the time to look like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't look at Nick Cage though and think that guy's always had abs.
No, but I would expect from Con Air through the next 12 years.
Hairy abs, right?
No, I don't think he has a hairy stomach. He doesn't in Ghost Rider.
Con Air version?
Smooth as eggs.
Smooth as eggs. I've never seen Con Air either. How mad are you currently?
This is all the time. Yeah, you told me the other day you've never seen Die Hard.
I've got a lot of gaps in early 90s action movies, okay?
All right. January 5th, the Detroit Pistons face the Philadelphia 76ers again. Will we have more added to this rivalry leading up to it, or is that it?
I'm sure there'll be more. Because media will all ask questions about it.
Yeah,
they'll all be
true.
Like, hey, last time you matched up, blah, blah, blah. In essence, this matchup is battle of the old school big man versus
new
the new, right?
Yeah, it is. And it'll also help that both teams are good. And I think the Pistons will remain good this season. I don't know if they'll be, fourth in the East good the whole season, but I think they'll be their offense is good right now. They're hitting threes really well. The defense is solid. I think they'll be able to get there.
Yeah, it's boring if it's a team that's bad. If it was Joel Embiid versus Tyson Chandler, right. That's not very exciting.
There's not much exciting with Tyson Chandler these days. But good for him. He got a ring and a Defensive Player of the Year award.
Even Boogie Cousins versus Myers Leonard, I'm just I don't care. That's not that's not that interesting.
Yeah, and just like the terror in Meyer's face made me feel.
That GIF was so good, or video clip.
Yeah, the GIF was great.
The GIF was just next level.
It sounds like you're saying The Gift, which is a movie I enjoy.
It sounds like you're talking about peanut butter, which I also enjoy.
Have you seen The Gift?
No.
Jason Bateman, Joel Edgerton.
No, but I do love Joel Edgerton.
Really good. Really nice thriller.
Have you seen Warrior?
Yes, Warriors. Ooh, that's a time.
That gets you. I mean, I imagine it gets you more as a man, but even that gets me in the feels.
Yeah.
All the father-son stuff.
Yeah, and just like there is still like I'm not an MMA guy by any means, but there is something very visceral about like that first scene where Tom Hardy walks out to no music, just gets in there, wrecks the guy, walks out, like doesn't participate in any of the post or pre-fight shenanigans. Like he's just like there for business. And there is a very John Wickian vibe to that execution.
I mean, I would argue like up until maybe the final fight, it does a really good job of getting around all of the typical fight movie tropes.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Because I lent it to someone who was really into MMA, and he's like, "There's no way a science teacher, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know. That's at that point you just kind of."
I don't know that that's the thing to focus on, right? Although I did get hung up on The Bodyguard last night when Robert Wool was hosting the Oscars in that movie.
I don't know who that is.
Robert Wool?
Let me Google.
You've seen him before.
I'm sure I have.
Yeah. You remember the show Arliss?
Nope.
You've seen the original Batman?
Okay.
Yeah, you know that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so
I recognize his face.
He's hosting the Oscars in that movie, which is weird.
Sure, he's famous enough.
I don't need to talk about myself here because like because of my job, I don't really have to search for basketball tickets. For everyone else, buying tickets to sports and concerts, it can be complicated, but there's a better, simpler way to buy with SeatGeek. SeatGeek's the smartest way to get live event tickets. Their seamless mobile experience. You can buy and sell tickets in just 2 taps. 1 tap, 2 tap, you're done. SeatGeek helps you find the best seats at the best prices, fully guaranteed. Nothing quite like seeing your favorite team or musician in person, and SeatGeek will get you closer to the action for a great value. During the baseball season, had a bunch of Dodgers games I went to. Always got the best value of tickets, real good tickets for a lower price because I'd search the app and they have like little green, you just look for those little green icons on the seating map and it'll tell you, hey, that's a good deal. You should take them up on this one. So I very, very much recommend the SeatGeek app because it's just a good way to know what you're searching for at any event. Saves you time and money by searching multiple ticket sites to compare prices and find amazing deals. And to get you the most bang for your buck, they grade every ticket based on value to help you immediately identify the best seats that fit your budget. Every purchase fully guaranteed. Shop for tickets with confidence. Make SeatGeek your go-to app for finding the best deals on every type of ticket from sports and concerts to comedy and theater. I know you go to theater. And best of all, the listeners of this podcast, you're going to get $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. Just download the SeatGeek app and enter the promo code TALKHOOPS. That's all one word, TALKHOOPS. That's the promo code TALKHOOPS for $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. If you like this if you like what we're doing at Leverage the Chat, it is important that you're able to, just here's a way of doing it. Just sign up for an extra email. Sign up an extra email account. Go in, load the promo code, boom, $20 off if you ever want to use that. Is it ethical? I don't know.
It's a solid life hack. And listen, we've all done it.
We've all done it. And so it's the way to go. That's what I say.
No judging.
Talk Hoops is the promo code for SeatGeek. Speaking of geeks, basketball geeks, love them some Donovan Mitchell right now.
I really hate your segues.
Yeah. There's a certain charm to them, I think, though.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I'm not just upset every time it happens to me.
I get that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I was at that 41-point game Friday. It was Star Wars night.
I'm not digging.
You don't like the themes?
I just don't love the execution of them. I feel like they're all the same, and they, the mascot's gonna dress up like Darth Vader at some point, right? Did the bear do that?
Bear was just a Jedi.
Okay, I know Rocky, the Nuggets mascot. I know he was Darth Vader at some point, or Darth Rocky, or whatever. I don't know.
See, I felt like Bear should have just gone Chewbacca.
Yeah, that's the move.
Because you basically just need a bandolier, right? Like.
Yeah.
But he was a Jedi. Yeah, I liked it, and Utah's notoriously into fandoms, so I think, and they'd never done a Star Wars night before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then all right. If you're doing the same one all the time, then I'm out. But if you've never done one, all right, I'm in on that.
They'd never done it, so young Padawan Donovan Mitchell, in the absence of Rodney Hood, who they were missing again, Howell Neto was out, Joe Johnson's still out, Rudy Gobert was out. Faced the Pelicans, and AD went down.
Oh yeah, he did he tear his groin or something, or we think he
tore
his groin?
It was at first I just thought he got hit in the groin, but it was, you watch the footage back, and it was non-contact, and he just kind of grabs at his kind of hip groin area and was not moving and was in a wheelchair after.
Yeah, that is a real level of discomfort. If anyone's ever torn their groin or pulled their groin.
Yeah, it hurts. You can't
awful.
Put pressure on your leg.
Yeah.
I did that in soccer, and yeah, it's miserable, and it's really easy to re-aggravate.
Yeah.
Like, I re-aggravated mine a year later when I went on a trip to Scotland and was hiking a mountain, and all of a sudden it pulled it again, and it was excruciating. Oh. Yeah, it was awful. So Donovan had I think 20 at the half. Okay. Maybe 24.
I know he had 20. He had 24 going into the fourth quarter, right?
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah. 24 through three quarters.
Because I think he didn't score in the second quarter, which makes his 41 even more ridiculous.
Yeah. AD goes down, and they just put Boogie in the pick and roll because he was tired because he was doing it all himself.
He's not a good defender anyway. He's fine.
He's not a good defender.
There are a lot of problems there. Yeah.
And Derek Favors did a really good job on him, especially one-on-one in the post. Which was, Quinn Snyder gave him a ton of credit because the night before, this was a back-to-back, and Derek had to guard DeAndre the night before, which is always been a tough matchup for him. Yeah. So to have to go from DeAndre to Boogie is just like, the fact that he played 36 minutes and did a nice job defensively on Boogie was pretty significant. That has no little impact on how your guard's going to do. But right. So he hit the 30-point mark, which was a career high, obviously, with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And I think the Jazz were down 2 at that point, and scores 11 more in the last 4 minutes. Whew. And the crowd was going insane.
Yeah, when that place gets going, it is loud.
It was so loud. And he was just, have you seen the footage of when because he got put at the line for 40 and 41. Yeah. And he just can't stop smiling.
That's cool. Like, we're very cynical and just like overly judgy and over criticize and like everything. These guys get paid millions of dollars. Why can't they hit their free throw? That's a cool moment. Like to see a rookie, and like doesn't matter. Like if they'd end up losing the game, then I'm sure that gets used against him in some way, right? Of like, all he cared about was scoring or whatever. But like, no, man, that's a rookie. It's a rookie dropping 40 in a game and realizing within the moment, like, holy shit, this is cool.
Yeah, and not being too cool for it, right? Like, because so many guys, I get it. Like, that's your job, and you're trying to do well at your job. But this was the 23rd game of his career. Yeah. And he drops 41, and he was, just how quickly he's learned is what's been fun for Jazz fans and for media members, because his first 5 games, he struggled so much. And then in back-to-back nights. He had 24 against the Clippers in that win, and then he had 41. So he, put up 65 points in less than 48 hours, and that means something. And he is running a team. Rubio had a really rough night, and he was playing point, and he also sees guys. He's seeing the floor a lot better. I don't know. It's just cool. He on the walk-off interview, he was speechless, and the crowd was just drowning him out, and he was thrilled. Derek Favors sprayed him with water bottles. Yeah. Everyone seems happy for him. I'm sure it could be hard if you have a rookie come in and take your shots, so to speak, or take, Derek Favors has been on the team for a long time, and he does a lot of the dirty work and not necessarily all the glory. And so to be happy for a guy scoring 41 in a pretty unselfish way, actually. Like, you didn't watch that game and just think he was gunning for his. He was helping the team. Like, he kicked out to Joe Ingles for the go-ahead three that put him up 103-101. And, like, he plays the game right way. Quinn Snyder has a lot of faith in him. It's enjoyable to watch. I guess the City Creek fan store, which is where they sell jerseys, is completely out of Donovan Mitchell gear. Like, they sold out entirely of all sizes. There's nothing left.
Not to throw out some heresy of when Jordan came back. I don't think the 45 is a cool number either. So I think that matters. I think that matters. Like, having a 45 jersey selling out, I think that matters.
Although it might help in conservative Utah, right?
Sure.
I don't think everyone's as mad at that number as they should be.
Orrin Hatch hating children and everything, those freeloading children. But that's for an episode of Waz Speaks, not this one, I guess. No, screw him. I'm out on that guy.
Did you know he's in Traffic?
The movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's that. That's the one interesting. Oh, he wrote a Hanukkah song a couple years ago. There's like a 2008 video of Orrin Hatch. It's a Hanukkah rap, and it's very bad.
Oh, no. This can't be good.
I tweeted it out a while ago. I would go with the 10 hours of silence first, and then bring in Hanukkah. But, yeah, the Donovan Mitchell thing, Jazz fans were having fun because Gordon Hayward's career high was 40.
Yeah.
And he got one more than Gordon, so Jazz fans got to enjoy that. Super petty. Trey Lyles has had 65 points the whole season.
Okay.
Or 61 points the whole season, and Donovan had 65 in 2 days. That's fun. I don't know. I'm not mad at that. Like,
yeah, I think
wants to win the trade, and I think that gets pretty tiresome sometimes.
Right.
But
they've definitely won the trade. I don't care how good Tyler Lydon ends up being. I'm not a big on him anyway. And Trey Lyles, like, you see a couple of flashes here and there, but he's mostly just not good.
He played well last night.
Yeah, sure. I mean, like, he's going to have moments, but
right. But Donovan Mitchell has potential to be a franchise piece here. Like,
yeah, like he could legitimately be an all-star. Yeah. Like, I mean, he's pretty good. Like, I think the interesting thing you said about, like, people not worrying about, like, him taking shots and stuff, like, because he does, for a rookie coming in, his 28% usage rate, like, that's high.
Really high.
And everyone just seems fine with it, which I don't think it's like, it's not a problem. It just is, it's a little surprising that, I think a lot of guys are that competitive, and they would wonder, like, hey, why the hell does this rookie get to do so much? And I'm just plugging this role. But they have some, they have some freedom. Obviously, Quinn trusts him a ton, and how he uses that freedom, and where he, makes mistakes and learns from him and everything. And you mentioned last time that, he's very coachable and very teachable, and Quinn loves that. And it's kind of cool to see a rookie embraced in that way, especially like an unheralded rookie going in.
Yeah, who had just lost out the Rookie of the Month to Kyle Kuzma, who's been great too.
Yeah,
like, it's not that
spectacular.
It's not that Kuzma doesn't deserve it, but he's kind of got that same Rudy Gobert chip on your shoulder. Like, he faves tweets that are like, this Donovan Mitchell kid's gonna be a bust. Like, you go through his likes, and he does all that stuff, and I think that's fine. Like, I like a little bit of that. It's a little Draymond Green-esque.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Like, I'm sure the season is such a grind. Like, if you have to find a little bit of extra motivation through there, like, and it works, go for it.
Yeah, and like, he's super close with his younger sister, and he had her name stitched on the back of his shoes the night he did that. Like, I don't know. It's there's so much content there. As someone who's worked in digital content for 3 years, that's the most boring way I can put it. But it was great.
Yeah, I mean that's the perspective I have too.
Hey, I sat and gushed for 10 minutes. You can't give me like there's storylines there.
No, because you haven't seen The Bodyguard, so I'm not going to give you any credit here.
Ugh. Listen, give me a list. Give me 90.
Oh boy.
89 to 97.
All right.
Because I was watching a lot of Disney at that time.
Sure. I mean, I've never seen The Lion King, so I get it.
Yeah, because you're dead inside and you enjoy fun things.
Right. Well,
or Shakespearean adaptation.
I enjoyed that love story between Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston last night. I'll tell you that. All kinds of spice there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's fair.
Okay.
I will watch Die Hard this year though. But can I just say the next person who's like Die Hard is my favorite Christmas movie, trying to be all
it is my favorite Christmas movie. No, it's not an original thing. It's just like it's one of my favorite movies. It's a Christmas movie, so therefore it's my favorite Christmas movie.
But every year someone thinks they're original by being like, Die Hard.
Oh, we still get hey, have you ever noticed that Ashton Kutcher and Kyle Korver look alike? Like, yeah, we still get we all know.
That's all.
There should just be a website of yes, we all know that, and just list the jokes or the comparisons on there, and we can just refer people to that website.
What people hadn't done was Justin Trudeau and Vinny Del Negro.
I don't like that at all.
Why not?
You sent that to me, and I got wildly uncomfortable because I didn't know who I was looking at.
Yeah, the face swap is beautiful.
I don't like it. No, if I
an original thought.
I guess so. Like if I had to draft, comparisons, that definitely wouldn't be one. But you know what I would draft?
I hate you.
Daily fantasy basketball. That's what I would draft. Sports fans and fantasy sports fans, listen up. Did you know that your chances of winning on Draft are 80% better than those salary cap sites? That's why Draft is my favorite fantasy site. No more getting crushed by the pros. And it's not just me. More than 1 million people have already downloaded Draft. Playing a real live NBA draft right now, be done in under 5 minutes, get paid out the next day. Drafts are filling every second, so you can join one whenever you want. All new players get a free entry into a real money draft when you make your first deposit, but you have to use the promo code TALKHOOPS or the promo code Ricky Davis. Both just one word. One word for TALKHOOPS, one word for Ricky Davis. That is our promo code for this podcast. Playing a real money draft for free just by using the promo code TALKHOOPS. It gets even better. Draft. They're so sure you're going to love it. They're even offering Talk Hoops podcast listeners a money-back guarantee up to $100. Just search Draft in your app store or go to draft.com and play for free right now with the promo code TalkHoops.
Did Boogie help you with that live read?
Yeah, Boogie did kind of hype man me there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how many people heard him in the background, but Boogie gave a little bark there. Because
what was he upset about?
Well, no, I think he wanted me to tell the story about how the other night I did a draft. Let me see if I can get the results on my phone. But I had Donovan Mitchell.
Whoa.
So I had
Friday night?
Friday night. I had the third pick. It was a 3-person league. And let me see if I have. Oh yeah. I dominated that night.
Would you say you Donovated? Would you?
So I had the third pick.
Here's why you're mad. You're mad because you didn't think of it first.
I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm talking to listeners right now. I'm
just gonna put myself on mute. You just go ahead.
So I had third pick in the draft, which means third pick in the first round, first pick in the second round. I took Kevin Durant and Steph Curry back to back. They both had good games. I took Paul George and Andre Drummond back to back, and then I needed one more guard, and on the way back, he was like the third or fourth guard down on the list of available guys. And I thought, you know what? Donovan Mitchell may have a good night. He had a great night. Ended up getting 41 points for me. Or 48 points on the draft thing, but 41-4-4. It was great. So I highly recommend that. You can add me on there, Talk Hoops TBF. You can unmute yourself now.
Anything else?
No, that's all.
Okay.
Oh, Okay, we have. So I said we might take questions from Twitter. We don't really get good questions.
I just don't think you need to insult the listeners the way you do.
I'm not insulting them. I'm saying, should I lie and say we got great questions? I mean, this is maybe the best question we got was, who wins the fight? This is from Shiam. I probably butchered that, but Shiam. Who wins a fight? A Boogie-size DeMarcus Cousins or DeMarcus Cousins-size Boogie?
Boogie's pretty strong.
My dog or DeMarcus Cousins? Well, I guess both.
Yeah, your dog.
For his size, and he has the tactic. Like if I'm like kind of pushing him away or whatever while we're playing, is that he uses his front legs like he's trying to like swim move me.
He's trying to what?
Like a swim move, like in football.
Oh, swim move.
Yeah. He really comes with a head slap or whatever. Like he's got some technique to him. So I think if you put him in a 6'11", 270 pound body, I think that's dangerous.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's your king of the world right there. That's your emperor.
He wouldn't be good at basketball.
He'd be terrible at basketball, but he'd murder everyone.
He would murder everybody.
Yeah.
He'd probably defecate all over the floor.
Yeah. I don't know. He's pretty good about that.
Do you remember when he did that at Aaron's house?
Yeah, but he was such a young puppy at the time.
Was he?
Yeah, that was like a 4th of July, right?
That was like August, I think.
August. So he was like 5 months old. That's young.
He just like nervous diarrhea'd all over the carpet.
Twice. Once in the bathroom because I knew he was going to do it again. I could sense it, and so I threw him in the bathroom on the tile.
That's a real bad sixth sense to have.
No, but it's convenient when you don't want to ruin the rest of your friend's apartment or your friend's house.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, now though, he's good about that now.
That's good.
Yeah. Someone asked, Mitchell Carroll asked, can you talk about Will Barton? Not really a question. He's just cool AF. I like Will Barton. He's fun. He's a fun personality. Of course you do.
He's
real gunner
he's
mentality.
A 6-man gunner. Yeah, he's Jamal Crawford.
He's like a real athletic.
Lou Williams.
Yeah, he's like a real athletic Nick Young. Not that Nick Young's not athletic, but he plays more athletic than Nick Young did.
I think you'd make a mistake if you were like, we want to build around him, but I don't think anyone would. But like 6-man gunner, sure.
I would.
Well, of course you would.
Yeah.
But you'd have a whole lineup of that guy.
The whole lineup, absolutely.
Everyone under 6'3".
Thomas Griffith said Nerlens Noel. And,
yes.
and Michael Hurwitz said, is that a question? And Thomas replied, and this is fair, don't want to limit the possible questions.
I mean, he had a hot dog with the media members.
He did at halftime.
At halftime. Tim McMahon got a picture.
Yeah, and then addressed it today with Rick Carlisle standing next to him.
Oh, he did? What did he say?
Oh, he basically said, like, I'd worked out really hard that day. I was feeling very hungry, and so, I needed a hot dog. I wanted that extra protein, the extra calories. But I should have been smarter about it. I should have sent a ball boy to go get it or whatever. And then Rick Carlisle, like, kind of jumped in and said, like, I think there's a place in Dallas called Harry's or something like that I guess is a hot dog place. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said, like, I'm representing Nerlens now, and we're going to get a sponsorship deal with Harry's, and then joked about how, like, Nerlens really liked relish on hot dogs, and they didn't have any relish in the media room, so he just had to have a plain one. So they handled it. They handled it well, but yeah, like, I don't really have a problem with that. One, he's probably not going to play, and two, do you want guys to be physically hungry? Like, you just want them to be mentally hungry.
Yeah, I guess the optics are bad. Like, I know guys will do it pregame. Some guy, like Rudy Gobert, used to always show up to the media room and get food pregame, but that's more.
Andre Miller did that forever. Like, he's just keeping that per diem on the road in the media room, getting free dinners. Like, I respect the hell out of that.
That's just free money at that point.
Yeah.
I get that. Optics mid-game. Although, like, it's a little bit like, yeah, I know he's not going to play me, so I'm going to have some protein in the middle of the day. It's weird, but that whole relationship is clearly strained.
I'm in.
On strained relationships?
Well, that for sure. But also just like, man, he wanted a hot dog. Let him get a hot dog. It's not like he went up to the concession stand.
Sure, right. That would be...
Although they have a chicken sandwich here at Staples Center that if I were a player, I would go up at halftime and get that chicken sandwich.
Does it cost like $20?
It's not cheap. It's I think it's like $16 or something like. It's so good though.
$16?
Or it's like somewhere between $13 and $16, but it's worth it. It's so good. It's like a gourmet fried chicken sandwich type of thing. Like,
well, and like at Staples, you don't get a free medium meal anyway, don't you? Like,
no, you gotta pay.
You have to pay like $8 for a hot dog anyway, so you might as well.
Right. Well, no, they do have free hot dogs in the media room, and they have free nachos. You can make your own nachos, and they have free what are those, like Uncrustables, those peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. They have those. That's usually where I go.
That's your move?
Yeah, and they have like the whole soft serve station, all that.
Yeah.
But I don't do that. But I will take a peanut butter jelly sandwich or two.
I don't remember the last time I had a PB&J.
Well, especially those Uncrustables.
They're real good.
Yeah, I don't think they're all that healthy for you.
Of course they're not.
Yeah, but it's it'll take the hunger away. But yeah, if I'm gonna spend $8 on a media meal, I kick an extra $7 to upgrade to that amazing chicken sandwich.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
That was what people wanted to know, right?
Exactly. I think that's exactly what they wanted to know. I don't like any of these other questions.
Is this a call to have better questions?
Yeah, and I think we need, because I'm going to be real bad about it unless I open a tweet deck column. So like, do we need like a hashtag like snark hoops?
I like that.
Is that okay?
I like that.
Okay, so yeah, in the
what
future,
what percentage nonsense to serious do we want? Do we want some actual basketball questions and some just like?
I just want interesting questions. So if it's a really interesting basketball question, like absolutely, the more nonsensical and fun, the better, because that's kind of the vibe of this.
Someone hashtagged us Ask Zach and Angie.
That's too long.
Correct.
Yeah, that's too long of a hashtag. I like snark hoops or talk snark or something like that.
Or snark hoops, talk snark. Is that too long? Probably.
I think that one may be too long.
Someone called me the Ben Simmons of the podcast, so I think that's important to say.
People are questioning your work ethic?
Yeah.
Fair.
Nobody would say I have a good work ethic, Zach. Nobody.
That's true. Okay, last thing we can get to.
Invisible box?
Invisible box. I'm real uncomfortable with this.
There's a video of a cheerleader, a Texas cheerleader, hopping, using a invisible box to step over, and it looks like something's actually
actually there. Right, yeah.
Like for a minute, your eyes think, oh, she's actually stepping on something.
Right.
But her foot doesn't move while she's shifting what I'm guessing is 83 pounds of her weight over the top of it.
That didn't sound bitchy at all.
She's a high school cheerleader. She's tiny.
She doesn't look that tiny.
I don't care how much she weighs. She's very small. Those girls, like, if they're flyers, they've got to be like under 100 pounds. She's probably like
maybe she's short. Yeah, I guess she's short.
She's for sure short.
I do like the one where her friend pretended to kick she kicked the box out.
You're gonna have to tweet this out so that people have a reference.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, us talking about viral videos might not make the best.
What an amazing concept. That's our next podcast, is that just us talking about viral videos that you have to go watch instead. I
think Trey actually tweeted out the original, if you could scroll through however many things he's...
Or you could just Google invisible box.
I don't know if that'll get you.
Well, that actually...
Don't Google that.
Don't Google that exactly word for word. That might not be great.
So why are you out on it?
Because it reminds me of David Blaine.
Okay. Like levitating?
Yeah, we can pretend he did that.
Is it because you're a skeptic, or you just don't like?
No, I think it's cool. You complete 75% of any trick and then give up and complete the rest. I think that's great. Like, that's a great way to make a living.
That's how most men function every day.
Exactly. Don't call yourself a great illusionist. Well, I guess the illusion is that you've earned your money.
I thought what was weird when he's like, my illusion is going to be being in a freezing for like 24 hours, or being suspended over town square.
Over London for 40 hours. And then
I'm like, how is that I guess that's like a mental thing, but that's not a magic trick.
Well, also, like, he never completes those. Like, I think he did like 30 hours of the 40 hours, for that hanging over the town square.
Wasn't he in an invisible box in that one?
I think he was.
Hashtag invisible box. Maybe that should be our hashtag.
No, definitely not. I don't know. That's going to create a lot of search problems for me when I'm setting up this TweetDeck column. But it was, and then it's like, hey, I'm going to hold my breath for 12 minutes. No human can do that. Okay, cool. And he makes it like 9 minutes, which, holy shit, that's 9 minutes is impressive. But it's not 12.
And like it
not
made
what you
a
said.
whole special. It was like a whole
right, and there's this whole
like ABC.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah. So out on David Blaine, I'm out on magic.
You're out on magic. But you're in on Waterworld.
Oh yeah.
Waterworld is basically Mad Max
with jet skis
in a world where there's no sand anymore.
Did you look at this link I sent you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Begrudgingly.
So the runtime is only 20 minutes. So it's not going to take up your whole day. You do have to wait in line to get in there.
I would let it take up my whole day, though.
Yeah. If I can just sit there for the whole showing of it, like all the showings of it.
I feel like I really botched my last visit to LA if I didn't.
Oh yeah.
Go to the Waterworld thing.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you're here for 11 hours.
Nobody wanted to hang out with me, so I was like, well, going back.
That's fair.
To Utah, where no one wants to hang out with me.
Do I have anything else to say? I think I'm done.
Okay, we didn't want to talk about bears, I guess. We don't need to talk about bears.
You sent me this thing of like all these weird pictures Russian people have sent, and also probably not good in podcast form. But interesting. Yeah. I do find it interesting to look at.
There's a woman who decorated her cubicle with pictures of Putin.
Yeah, and has a gun.
On a doily.
On a doily next to a keyboard.
And pictures of Jesus.
There's a woman curling her hair with a baguette.
It's a lot happening.
Yeah.
That's a good way to end this, right?
It's a great way to end this. I can follow you on Twitter at @snark_tank. I guess we should tell people you'll be doing a lot of these podcasts, maybe?
Hopefully. Unless Zach's listens back and says,
oh, this was real trash.
This was horrible.
This is an awful experience. In the moment and then after the moment. Yeah,
that's really what I'm aiming for.
Sure.
But yeah.
But check out 1280 Sports on Twitter as well.
Yep.
And all the social feeds, I guess.
Yeah, 1280 The Zone, Zone Sports Network, whatever. Yeah. Just check it out. 1280thezone.com.
LeverageTheChat.com, FanRagSports.com. We are serious about this. Subscribe and unsubscribe, and then resubscribe as many times as possible. Steal your friends' phones, go on your friends' computers, subscribe to the podcast, unsubscribe on your feed, resubscribe. We'll game the system and really goose those numbers. Goose is probably not the word I was looking for. Really boost those numbers. That's what I'm saying.
Because Goose dies in Top Gun. That's why you don't want to use it, right?
Right. That's exactly what I was thinking. Not that it's potentially like a Mad Men secretary situation.
Don't make it weird.